All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a deep dive into those ever-elusive MQLs, marketing qualified leads. And to guide us, we're dissecting Reach Marketing's approach. They've got our attention with their claims of a 2.17x ROI and talk about delivering over 1 million leads. Pretty bold, Brain.
Yeah, those are some impressive numbers for sure.
But we're not just chasing vanity metrics here, right?
Absolutely not.
It's about quality over quantity, finding those leads who are actually primed and ready to, dot convert.
Precisely. Anyone can buy a list of contacts, but the real magic is in identifying those warmed-up leads who are receptive to your message, those who are actually more likely to become paying customers.
It's like finding the perfect dance partner. Not every match is going to lead to fireworks on the dance floor.
I like that analogy.
And Reach Marketing seems to think they've got the moves to find you that perfect match. Their website walks us through a 5-step process, and it feels a bit like we're peeking behind the curtain, getting a glimpse into their sales playbook.
Always intriguing to see how companies position themselves. The quality over quantity message is a smart one, particularly in today's noisy digital world. But let's see if they can back it up right.
Exactly. Step 1, they call it identifying ideal customers, which sounds straightforward enough, but
Easier said than done in many cases.
right. Especially in the B2B world, where defining that perfect customer can be complex. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it all starts with your ideal customer profile. That's marketing 101. Yet so many companies miss the mark. Reach highlights their database, ReachBase, boasting a wealth of information that enables them to, and I quote, target with laser focus.
Sounds impressive, but
The question is, how accurate and up-to-date is this data? That's a critical piece of the puzzle.
that's a great point. Data decay is a real concern. Okay, so let's say they've nailed down our ideal customer. Step 2 is where the real wooing begins, optimizing your asset. They talk about offering something valuable, enticing potential leads. So far, so good. But what caught my eye was their emphasis on custom content creation.
Ah, yes, because generic content is a dime a dozen these days. You need to offer something tailored, something that speaks directly to your target audience's pain points.
Exactly. It's about standing out in a crowded inbox.
Okay, so we've got our audience a killer piece of content. Now for step 3, crafting the perfect message. Because even the best content won't convert if it gets lost in the email abyss.
That's where the art and science of marketing truly converge. You need a subject line that grabs attention, a value proposition that's crystal clear, and a call to action that resonates. It's a delicate dance.
A delicate dance indeed. It's about piquing their interest without overwhelming them.
Exactly. Finding that sweet spot is crucial.
And that brings us to step 4, and this one really hits home for me, data verification. I mean, how many times have we all gone down that rabbit hole chasing a lead only to hit a dead end?
Oh, countless times, right. It's a marketer's nightmare. The worst, and Rich Marketing knows it. They're really doubling down on this, promising 100% data accuracy. But, and there's always a but, can they actually deliver on that? Data decay is a real thing.
It is. Maintaining a pristine database, it's an ongoing battle. It takes constant effort, vigilance.
Absolutely. It's not just about having a massive database. It's about keeping it clean, relevant. Okay, on to the final step, number 5, the grand finale, seamless delivery. They make it sound so simple, getting those leads straight to you, plugging right into your workflow. Sounds like a dream, right?
In theory, yes, ideal. But in practice, integrations can be tricky.
Oh, tell me about it, especially when you're juggling multiple systems.
Exactly. One system doesn't always play nicely with another.
Yeah.
So that's a key question to consider how much heavy lifting is involved on our end to actually integrate these leads into our existing processes.
Right, because the last thing we need is another tech headache. So we've unpacked their 5-step process, but Reach Marketing, they've got more up their sleeve. Let's talk about their lead generation dashboard. They're touting detailed metrics, in-depth insights, but we're savvy marketers. We know the devil's in the details. So what jumped out at you about their data and analytics approach?
Well, they highlight the ability to see beyond just the number of leads, to talk about demographics, industry, job title, even company size. That level of granularity, that's pretty powerful.
It is. It's about moving beyond those vanity metrics and really understanding who your audience is. And speaking of getting granular, I was fascinated by the case studies on their website, particularly the Robe and Schwartz example, a 375% increase in their lead database. I mean, wow.
Yeah, that's a compelling number. What struck me about that case study was the focus on targeting like really specific market sectors. It wasn't just a broad stroke approach. They were laser focused.
data in action, right? It's a perfect illustration of how powerful data can be when it's used effectively. But let's not forget, all of this comes with a price tag. Reach Marketing, they charge $20 per lead. So the question is it worth the investment?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer. It all comes down to your budget, your target market, your overall goals. It's a balancing act.
Right. A $20 lead, it could be a steal if it converts into a high-value customer.
Hmm.
But if you're working with a smaller budget, it might not be the right fit.
Exactly. And you've got to factor in the cost of nurturing those leads once you have them. Because lead generation, it's just the first step. Turning those leads into paying customers, that's a whole other journey.
True. So Reach Marketing, they're definitely painting a rosy picture, talking about data accuracy, targeted outreach, seamless integration, all the things we want to hear. But as we've been discussing, there are always caveats, nuances to consider.
Always. There's no magic bullet in business, no one-size-fits-all solution. What works wonders for one company might fall flat for another. It's about approaching these claims with a critical eye, really evaluating if their solutions align with your unique needs, your goals.
It's funny, Reach Marketing talks a big game about these intent-based leads, but they never really, define what that actually means. Like, what's their benchmark?
Yeah, it's one of those like industry buzzwords, gets thrown around a lot, but nobody really stops to define it.
Right. So how do we know? I mean, how does our listener sitting at their desk, how do they figure out what truly makes a lead qualified? What should they be looking for?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. And honestly, there's no magic formula. It's really about going beyond those like surface level interactions,
Mm.
clicking a link, downloading something. It's about looking at the bigger picture.
So digging a little deeper.
Exactly. Like what kind of content are they actually consuming? Are they engaging with your social media? Have they visited your website multiple times? Things like that.
So it's not just about what they're doing online, but why they're doing it. And that's where I imagine having those data-driven insights that Reach Marketing talks about, that's where those come in handy.
Totally. But even then, you got to remember, data is only as good as your ability to actually make sense of it, right? No algorithm can replace good old-fashioned marketing instincts.
It's about connecting the dots, understanding the story behind the numbers.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Reach Marketing's approach, it seems like the biggest takeaway isn't about finding some magic solution.
Right.
It's about arming yourself with the information and the tools to, really cut through the noise and figure out what qualified actually means for your business.
100%. It's about constantly questioning, testing, refining,
Yeah.
The marketing landscape is always changing. There's no finish line.
Always learning. Well, Reach Marketing has definitely given us a lot to think about, but ultimately the power lies with each and every one of you listening to decide what really works for your business. Until next time, happy marketing, everyone.